Every day I get online and I see people upset about inflation in the US economy, and they can't afford their rent. They're talking about the price of food going up, and so on and so forth. And people are really upset, and they are wondering when things are going to get back to normal. Well, I don't think we're ever going to go back to the way things were. And I think people need to be mentally prepared for things to get worse. And I say that because I look at what's going on outside of the US. See, here in the US, we focus on us, and it's almost as if we believe the world revolves around the US. But there's a lot going on outside of the US that does not get discussed. For example, we all know Russia has sanctions on it, and the US has tried to prevent other nations from doing business with Russia. Well, Japan, one of America's biggest allies, just purchased some oil from Russia. Japan just purchased oil from Russia. And this is the first time they did it, I believe, in 2 or 3 years. And there's a good chance they'll do it again. But here's the kicker, though. They're buying that oil not using US dollars. They're buying their oil not using US dollars. So that's huge. Now, you may say, well, that's just one instance. Well, here's something else to consider, too. Brazil is issuing bonds, just like America does. Brazil is issuing bonds, and China is going to buy those bonds. We're talking billions of dollars worth of bonds, but it won't be in dollars. It'll be in their own currency. See, this is the thing that people need to understand. These countries are moving away from using the US dollar. And as they do, then that means the demand for the dollar will decrease, as well as the purchasing power of that dollar will decrease. See, they're not telling you this on mainstream media. We're focused on what the president is doing and how he is, quote unquote, destroying the economy. But you got to remember something. This de-dollarization has been going on for years. For years. We just hadn't been taught or told about it. So what you have to do, or I'm going to include links to these stories also in this description, but what you have to do is accept the fact that the world is changing, and you need to change right along with it. So that means you need to start looking at having your money outside of the dollar. That's things like gold, silver, and crypto. And you want to start creating assets or generating assets that can make money for you. You got to do it now, because if you try to do it when it's too late, you're going to be stuck.